Okay guys, so here's the finished product. Here's the knife handle. You can see where I made it, those two pieces of wood there. Epoxied them. You can see the dye is still on my fingers. I stayed up until like 1 last night. I had a lot in my mind, and when I have a lot on my mind, I like to do something with my hands. So you can see by holding it, it has an aggressive profile. This thing was definitely made for chopping, right? I'm noticing that once I was trying to give it a little bit of an edge, so it's sharp down here, but here it's really dull right around this area. This seems to be the spot where people would hit with it most of the time. So I need to give that a little bit more attention, while at the same time not losing too much of the belly, because I really like that belly. It was also sharpened on this side. I'm not sure how common that was, so I just decided to go ahead and give that edge another pass. I didn't do much to it. The shape that you see it is pretty much the shape that it was in, but I'm going to be doing some more sharpening with it, probably with a stone, just to get it where I wanted. I wasn't able to use the one screw it came with because I could not find another one like it, so I decided I'm just going to keep it uniform, and I used those 2 screws. I recessed them in, and I used just a regular nut there. And this same type of design, I have a kukri knife from the Kukri house that is similar to British soldiers using during the Afghan war, that has this same method of how they recessed it. In fact, let me see if I can get it. Yeah. See, so this has the recessed nuts on there like mine did. Of course, this one has a different type of screw head, as you can see here. I use the Phillips, and this is like the flathead, and it's also a hex. But they also recessed it just like I did on that side, as you can see. It's almost even the exact same size, almost, which is really freaking weird. That I ended up doing it the same way that they did. I guess it's the most logical way to do it. Maybe that's why. I didn't mean this as a comparison video, but look how beautifully thick the Gurkha House made in Nepal Kukri House knife is. Just beautiful to hold in the hand. Look at their handle, as you can see, it was made rather quick. You can look at my handle, as you can see, also made rather quick. So, you know, I think I can get a job working at the Kukri house. If things don't work out in this whole counseling thing, maybe I can get a job working at the Kukri house, you know. But yeah, so anyway, I wanted to show you this. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. This is an update of another video chain that I've been doing on this U.S. Springfield Armory 1912 Bolo Bayonet that I was kind of refurbishing. Not historically true, but definitely will be a useful tool for me. Now the next thing is either finding or making a sheath for it. I think the handle came out pretty okay. I used a brown stain on it. I think that this is really sturdy. It's going to withstand a lot of abuse. And I worked with what I had. You know, this guard is bent, you know, was missing hardware. You know, I worked with what I had, and I think I did a decent job. So let me know what you think, guys. Let me know if you think it came out okay. I'm sure a lot of you guys are skilled craftsmen and can do a lot better than I can. What can I say? This is not what I do for a living. This is just like a hobby. I like doing things with my hands. In counseling, when you engage with your senses, it's called grounding. So whenever you do something with your hands, it's very therapeutic. And I found that I needed to do something with my hands lately because I've been going through a lot of stress. So consequently, you know, this is what I came up with. I made a knife handle. Tell me what you think, guys. This could use a little more sanding, but I'm going to leave it. For my purposes, I think it's just fine. Yeah. Yep, tell me what you think, amigos. It's a very sturdy knife. I'm just going to sharpen it. And sharpening knives I found also to be quite therapeutic as well when I sharpen knives. Notice that this Gurkha one is shorter than this bayonet. And for a bayonet, it's not sharp at all, which means it's had a lot of use, probably as a machete for somebody who brought it home from the military. possibly from the war many years ago. This being over 100 years old, 110 years old, something like that. And it's still kicking butt. All right, guys, this has been another one from the knife detector, just a short one. Just wanted to show you guys my progress and what I did, and wanted to get an opinion. If you think I did a decent job, or knife detector, you can do a heck of a lot better. I don't know. Let me know. I think it passes mustard. It will cut the mustard, amigos, and let me tell you, this thing will cut. It is very sharp up in here, but not right here. I need to sharpen it a little more there. I just need to be super careful because I don't want to lose the belly. This is like really flat. Here it's not. Here it's really sharp right here. So I need to be super careful. I'm going to continue to sharpen this with stones to get it where I want. But you know what, guys? That's part of the fun, amigos. It's just part of the fun. Yep. Yep. All right. Tell me what you think, friends. Y'all take care. If you like knives, if you like historical knives, if you like sharp things, if you like stuff like that, then join my channel. This is the Knife Detector channel. I try and put out a video every week. I have videos that have knives in them that your granddad may have had or has, that they gifted to you. Knives tell stories and they connect families and friends. So that's why I make these videos. Y'all take care. God bless you, my friends.